Recently, Blizzard has shown us they're making some massive changes. Their WoWcast interview showed they're making a one-button rotation. They're including a rotation helper into the base game. And the biggest one for me, they are intervening on add-ons in their big encounters. I've been doing some testing on the PTR. Let's break this down for you. Okay, so the one-button rotation has become a meme already, with people fearing it's going to have some catastrophic effects on the community. It's already on the PTR, and I can tell you after trying it out for even a single minute, you will find that it is doing what it is designed to do. It's to help people who have some sort of disability or issue preventing them from interacting with the game. I recently tried out add-ons where the visually impaired can play WoW, so you can see that here. And I can't tell you how much this would have helped me actually be able to play the game. But for the average user, it's clearly not useful. Currently, it doesn't even come close to playing like anywhere near optimally, and in fact, it just doesn't use major cooldowns of your spec at the moment. On top of that, it has a global cooldown penalty, so don't worry, your raid leader isn't going to be like recommending that you use this thing. So, we will get some definitely extremely overgeared content creators topping the meters in LFR, so enjoy the views for that stuff. And people are also worried about bots. Guys, trust me. Inputting keyboard commands is not what bots struggle with. Have no fears on that. More interestingly though, after some testing, the one button thing is actually just the new rotation helper put into a single key, which is more problematic. Ian openly said they wanted to introduce something similar to the extremely popular Hekeli add-on, which gives players recommendations of what is the best spell to cast next. The problem here is similar to the feedback that Blizzard has already had with their push into modernizing the WoW UI systems for the base game. It's better than what we had, sure. It's also very inferior to what players are already using. I just said the one button literally just uses the rotation helper, and the one button doesn't use powerful spells available to the spec. At least it doesn't yet in this iteration, and they might fix it, sure. But as it stands, using Blizzard's rotation helper is absolutely going to teach people horrible play habits. Now, it might be that Blizzard is being really careful on how much the game is quote-unquote playing the game for you. If that's the case, the message should be conveyed, and vice versa. If the rotation helper isn't going to recommend major cooldowns to press, then they should be highlighted in some other way, so at least it nudges players to let them know that these things are important. A glow effect or a tooltip, at least, so they don't just go ignored. If this isn't changed, there are absolutely going to be some players who use this because it's built in and it's recommended by Blizzard and never press their major cooldowns while being confused because they're actively using what Blizzard recommends. If anything, this got me to take a look at the Hekeli add-on for the very first time. My god, it's actually incredibly impressive. Not to be that guy, but if Blizzard is going to go down this road, it's got to be worth either hiring or at least having an in-game list of recommendations for players rather than trying to compete kind of poorly with them. Of course, player awareness and of encounters is always going to be how you reach the heights of gameplay, but I fear releasing a product that is already outdated by several years compared to the current add-ons is a hamstring on uneducated players, and perhaps it's just kind of a big waste of time. Some players, of course, are really worried this is going to be very disruptive and a negative for the game with people having all this help. I've got news for you guys. You're probably already playing with them if you're not doing it yourself. The Hekeli add-on that Ian mentions has been downloaded 56 million times already. GSC, which is similar, 8.6 million times. And if you go to WAGO and you search rotation helper, you're going to find thousands of them that have all been downloaded. And it actually dawned on me, I kind of made one myself by accident, and there's a really good chance you guys are already using something like this. If I look at my Legion UI, which was downloaded over 1 million times, I built that UI so that your priority system was left to right. The things you should be pressing and the cooldowns you should be using were all highlighted for you. Now, you guys are probably using something similar, and while it's not like lighting up and saying press this now, I mean, it is a rotation helper. And that's the thing, isn't it? We're all kind of doing it. And you know why? World of Warcraft's just too complex. Let's be honest with each other here. I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. You decide which one you fall into, all right? Scenario A, new expansion's coming. All this information is being revealed of all the new things. So what do? You sit down, you write down all your hero talents and which ones you're going to use. You then go through your baseline talents. You figure those out as well. Then what you do is you work out your opener, and then you work out the variation of that opener using different hero talents and different base talents. Then what you do is go through every new consumable and you figure out which one is going to be best for you over the terms of the encounter. Then you sit down, you write down your best enchants, your best tinkers. You then go through every single trinket tooltip, which is longer than the Lord of the Rings, and you figure all that out as well. And then on top of that, you then figure out what your best gear is going to be, so you can finally settle down and get to work. Or you go to your favorite guide website and you click copy and paste. Look, man, if you've been playing World of Warcraft and lived and breathed it for 20 years, then yeah, you're probably fine. You've kept up with the gradual changes patch by patch all the way to here. But just take a step back in your mind for a moment. You're either a brand new player, or, more recently, you're a returning player. You've been enticed by that brand new feature, player housing, the World Soul Saga, whatever it might be, and you come and you enjoy the game for a week or so, do the story, you can muddle your way through, and now you're invested, you're having a great time, and you want to start taking things a little bit to the next level. So you go to that website. Have you guys really looked at how intense these things are recently? It's pretty wacky. If you look at some of the setups, you're presented with like a 13-step opener, or if you've got a slight variation on talents, it's like a 9 or 10-step opener just to get things right. That's not including all the other multitudes of stuff that we mentioned earlier. It's way too much for the average player. It's far too complex. And most people are going to hit that wall. I wish I could express to you guys just how many people come to me with this problem as somebody who's been in this scene for a very long time. It numbers into the thousands. They hit that wall and it's just too much. It's the PoE problem. It's off-putting. And people just don't want to invest that time into it. If you're in the club already, you're all good. But if you're not in that club, why bother? Look, I'm not saying here that WoW should be dumbed down or anything, and Ian seems to be on the same wavelength as all the other MMO directors. They're looking 10 years down the line. Yoshi P, the game director of FF14, has similar issues that he spoke to me about. There is no simple solution to this, and it takes baby steps to get somewhere. If you're still thinking WoW isn't that bad, install the Advanced Tooltip add-on and just see how many interactions a basic spell has in WoW these days. It gets extreme. Let's face it, most people don't want to be playing algorithm DDR with their brain and fingers just to enjoy some raiding with their friends and not be a burden. Which is why they're also addressing add-on usage in encounters, and this has me so hype. The arms race of add-ons versus players and encounter design has been a failure at nearly every single turn. And Lord knows how many creative, interesting ideas Blizzard has come up with and then thrown in the trash because an add-on's just going to solve this. This, in Ian's words, would be a gradual process of rolling back add-on functionality to see where the line is. Including damage meters and boss timers into the base game is a great start, and honestly, they've already been testing this model. A lot of recent encounters in Undermine specifically didn't need fancy add-on tech, at least until a couple of the mythic fights. Practically everything could be determined with voice lines, basic timers, the ping system, world markers, and an energy bar. Everything else was conveyed nicely in-game, and they're going to be working on improving that style of boss design. So its probable and inevitable conclusion they're pointing to, no major add-on tech being allowed in raids and M+, etc. Now, the current implementations of their UI changes aren't great, as we talked about earlier. But if the emphasis is going to be put back onto players to communicate amongst each other and solve problems as a team, rather than a weaker assignment just doing it for you, then that opens so many doors for creativity. Think of something like Mechatalk codes or Sinestra cutter beams. That allowed something very, very simple to become a major focal point because it didn't just flash a giant message on your screen, you're targeted, go and stand at green and GG done. Think of it this way. If you take away the add-on functionality, you can actually reduce the overall difficulty encounters while actually not making it easier. Because now it's a different style of fight that relies on players to work. You compare this to something like Ashara or Farak, where there's master brain auras, and then there's feeder auras that are all passing information around to each other. It really sucks. Generally, that just makes things overly complicated and really fast, while usually less fun and taking very little brain power. The Switch should be really good. This is a really exciting time. I'm very hyped for it. I'm looking forward to what they do with it. We are definitely going to see some really ropey bosses along the way as they sort of figure and muddle their way through it, but I'm along for this journey because I think the ending is going to be so positive. So we'll be right here to see how it goes, and we'll go on this journey together. For now, I've been Preach. See you again. Opener, your priority list, your... Fuck! You sit down when that brand new expansion's coming, you've got all your information, and you write down your hero talent builds, your talent builds, your priority opener list, your second priority opener list for your variable setup. You then go through your BIS gear, the new consumables, choose your best ones, your new enchants, your new tinkers. You write it all down, and then you go, yes. Did I get them all? Fuck! What did I miss?
Trinkets.
Ah, trinkets is important as well. I'm then going to write down all my trinkets and read all those massive tooltips to figure out which one is best. Then I'm going to sort out my BIS gear on top of that, and then I'm about ready to play the game. Are we there?
Basically, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude! Oh my god.